everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back for another video. This time we're going to have a bit of fun. You see, about a year ago, I bought myself a Kemper profiling amplifier. It sits here in my rack system, and I, to be honest, don't profile any amps with it. I have a great selection of profiles that I use. My Dr. Z's that are there if I need them, you know, the Dumble sounds, the Cornford sounds, they're all there. It's awesome. Every now and again, I like to go on the rig manager and take a look at some of the profiles that other people have made of their amps. And when scrolling through there, I noticed some amps that made me laugh a little bit. Things like the Marshall MG15, and that took me back to what it was like to be a 14-year-old playing guitar and getting my first Marshall amp, which was an MG15, and using that for practice. I thought, let's give this a try. I hit play and gave it a go, and you know what? It took me back to that time. It felt like I was back in that time. It was great fun, although it sounded dreadful. And you know, with the years of experience, I can look back now and go, wow, that really was a bad tone. But I thought it was fascinating that Kemper did such a great job of emulating that tone. And it got me thinking, who buys a £2,000 amplifier to profile amps that are £100? Well, I'm going to show you. So what I've done today is I have recorded a track. I wrote a short little track. It's like, I don't know, an 8-bar riff that repeats, play it a couple of times, put a little solo over the top of it. And I've done it 5 times. One, I have done it with Dr. Z amp and a Fuchs for the lead guitar tone. And then I have re-recorded that exact same thing using a Pignose. I've done it using a Marshall MG15. I've done it using a Line 6 Spider on the Insane mode. And I've done it using a Roland Cube on the Metal sound. And yeah, I thought it'd be fun to compare these and see which ones sound good and which ones sound dreadful. Spoilers, I think they probably all sound dreadful. Anyway, so if you do enjoy this video, let me know in the comments below. I would love to do a volume 2 of this with your suggestions of amps that you would love to hear. So first up, just to give you an idea of what it should sound like, here is the recording using a Dr. Z. This is a Z-Lux for the rhythm guitar tone. It's nowhere near as heavy as it probably should be, but I wanted something that was kind of mild breakup. And then over the top, for the lead guitar part, that's a Fuchs. I forget which Fuchs. Cool sound anyway. Check it out. Sounds like this. Okay, so on to the Pignose. Now, I believe this is a Pignose 7100, the legendary Pignose amp. Yeah, so this amp features a 5-inch speaker on it. We're emulating the sound of a bell amp, if you like, something that can be powered with AA batteries. It's not known for its incredible tone. In fact, when you look at the website, it talks about the Pignose guitar amplifier is the answer to the worldwide demand for high quality, economical, complete portability in an amplifier. High quality, economical, do those two things usually go hand in hand? I don't think so. Having said that, I think it's a reasonably faithful representation of a Pignose. And to be completely honest, when I tracked the rhythm guitars to this, I didn't think they sounded that bad. I thought that you could probably get away with using this for the rhythm guitar tone. But when we crank up the overdrive and really push the Pignose to melting point, oh, this lead guitar tone it'll put hair on your balls, I'll tell you that. So let's cut that in and see what that sounds like. Next up, we have the Marshall, the MG15. So yeah, this is a personal experience. This is one that I have a lot of first-hand time with. I used this amp, and then when I upgraded and got my first real amp, it was a Marshall MG100 HDFX. So the solid state stack that they did. But you know, it was a stack, so I thought I'd made the big time. That was what I went to university with, I'll have you know. Oh, the things you learn as you grow, right? Anyway, so the tone on this, it took me right back. It really does feel and sound like what that amp did. Incredibly scooped tone, virtually no punch in the mid whatsoever. To be honest, I had to boost the lead guitar tone to an unreasonable level just so you could hear it, because at its standard volume, where everything else sat in the mix with, you know, all the other guitar parts, you couldn't hear it in the slightest. And I didn't want to be applying any EQs to get things to stand out. I wanted you to really hear what the Kemper sounds like imitating these world-class amplifiers. So yeah, the Marshall MG15, an incredible pile of crap. But if you want one in your Kemper, I mean, you can do it. Sounds like this. Next up is the long-running joke, the Line 6 Insane mode, made famous on their Spider series of amps. Obviously, Glenn Fricker, well known for tearing apart the Spider series of amps, making fun of them. I remember back in high school when I had the MG15, and the other guitar player I knew, quite a smug guy, came in, Eric Clapton's biggest fan, came in one day and said, "I've just bought myself a Spider." I think it was a 30 watt. And I remember going, "Cool." And he used to tell me how great it was, and then I sat down and listened to it, and I said, "What? So, how?" I was a metal guy at the time, so how insane can that thing get? And he said, "Check this out," and he put it into the metal mode. Oh, and as soon as I hit play on this, yeah, again, it took me back. It really did sound like I remember this amp sounding like. And yeah, of course, the Line 6 Insane mode is a bit of a joke, but I think it's one of those tones that every kind of 15-year-old kid that likes metal has to go through. They have to experience this tone and learn this tone, and then learn to move beyond this tone. And still, you can go on Glenn Fricker's videos where he trashes the Spider, and you will find a fair amount of people in the comment section saying, "You don't know what you're talking about, man. The Line 6 is amazing, and I'm so good at getting a great tone out of the Insane mode." No, it's never happened. It's not happened yet. And you know what? I'm going to prove it to you. Check this out. So finally, we have the Roland Micro Cube. This one is brutal. There is no, if you want to have the experience of having a bag of trash poured over your head infinitely, just constant trash falling over your head, this is the tone for you. You know, growing up, I actually really liked the Roland Cube. When I was in London at university and I was going out and doing a few jazz gigs, I would use my bass player friend's Roland Cube. I took that out and I thought that it had a perfectly reasonable clean tone. It did the job. But yeah, as soon as you start putting in those imitations of overdriven amps and imitations of distorted amps, things get scary pretty fast. This this is one of the most offensive tones that has ever been committed to a record. I cannot believe how bad this sounds. To me, this doesn't even sound like a guitar. If you take a piece of paper and rip it next to a microphone, that's the kind of sound that you're getting here. If you put on static on your television, or can people even do that anymore? Television static? Probably not. But if you just had, you know, a background radiation static, that's what this sounds like. This is not a tone that you want to play with. You want a chainsaw guitar tone, not tearing paper guitar tone. And yeah, this tone is about as strong as a piece of paper. So let's have a listen to that. See if you like this one. So there we have it, guys, a veritable dumpster fire of guitar amps, all profiled by the Kemper profiling amplifier to give you the honest representation of what these amps sound like. I love this idea of spending all of that money on a Kemper and then using it to have these tones. I love the fact that somebody went out of their way to profile these amps. As I say, I've not actually even profiled any amps with my Kemper because it's so easy to access so many great tones, and you can purchase great tones from guys like Michael Britt. And yeah, there's a ton of websites that do those types of things. And yeah, so the effort of having to profile one of my amplifiers, it's just a lot, and there's no real need for me to do it. So the fact that there are people out there dedicated enough to profile these absolute turds of amps, people, I salute you. So if you have enjoyed this video, you can consider being like these people over here. These are some of my supporters over on patreon.com. They make these videos happen. They are the guys that have allowed me to kind of take an entire day out of doing my transcribing so I could get this video done, because a lot of time goes into this. So yeah, thank you guys. And if you would like to check us out on Patreon, you can do so by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you'll see 2 more of my videos here and here. Hopefully, if you look through those, you won't find any tones as terrifying as the ones I've presented you with today, so sorry about that. But please do leave a comment below with amps that you would like to see in a future episode of this video type series. See you again for another video soon, guys. Bye.